Hello, Wildcats. It's your boy Kev, just coming at you like another piece of shit Medea movie. And this is just a disclaimer to let you know that we are a comedy and crime podcast. So even though we do cover many serious cases and true events, we do like to throw in some dark humor and inappropriate jokes. And even though our sense of humor is pretty dumb and not meant for everyone, I guarantee we're better than a Medea family funeral that came out on March 1st, 2019. And if it's not, then we will cancel the show. We will shut the show down. What else did I want to say? Was that the whole disclaimer? Did I get everything? Alrighty. Well, thank you everyone for listening and giving us a chance, and we hope you enjoy the show. I do want to apologize. Some of the audio quality on two of the mics were a little wonky at times on this one. And also, just a quick apology for those that just like to get right into the case. At the beginning in this, we talk about some stuff. So the actual case, I think, begins between like 15 and 20 minutes into the episode. But already, thank you all for listening. Hashtag Wildman, baby. Ready for the big ride, baby. Well, I'll never forget first time I had sex. I'll never forget that magic day. No, I'll never forget. I made a promise. I promised everyone about that day. September 11th was the first time I had sex, and I made a promise I can't forget. Yeah, I can't believe that I had sex.
Alright, fellas, like we practiced.
Yeah.
2, 3, 4.
Come on down. Come on down. Hanging with the brothers tonight, yeah. Come on down to the Brothers Commonplace tonight.
Alrighty, welcome everyone to the Brothers Commonplace, a comedy and crime podcast where we cover monsters, murders, mysteries, and more. And before we get into today's Vault 101 episode, I want y'all to meet my favorite little tiki torch guys.
What's going on, guys? This is Tim, or Scratch and Sniff, as they call me on the playground. I just thought of that just now. I didn't have one.
Hey guys, it's Toof, or as they like to call me because of my body hygiene and put me on the $20 bill, Hairy Tit Tub Man.
Jesus.
Do you guys remember? I had like a brother movie that was kind of that a long time ago.
Oh my god, fuck yeah.
He just stole it.
What's up, everyone? This is Spence, also known as It's Not the Great Pumpkin Charlie Brown.
Oh,
because it's fucking pumpkin beer season again, and I hate that shit.
I'm drinking one right now.
It's not the Great Blumpkin Charlie Brown.
Oh, fuck yeah,
baby.
Blumpkid.
When is the Blumpkid due?
2/2/2020.
Oh, hell yeah.
Damn.
Hell yeah. Fucking Blumpkid, baby. And it's your boy Kev, a.k.a. the Dirty Dog. And for all my Spanish listeners and fans of Tommy Boy out there, come on, a sonrisa, eres tú, I see, eres tú. Watched Tommy Boy the other day.
Nice.
That was a great movie.
I thought you were going to say go back to where you came from, MAGA 2020.
Oh,
This is
fuck
MAGA
yeah,
country.
Fuck yeah.
This isn't funny at all, but all the time now, like whether I'm just at work or just at home, I always freak out. I'm like, oh shit, have you seen my MAGA hat? And it's not funny to anyone but me.
Then you realize that Andrew took that shit a while ago.
Oh, fuck yeah, dude.
Dude, imagine if every time Andrew goes to the bathroom at work, hidden behind the toilet in a Ziploc bag is a MAGA hat that he puts on.
Fuck yeah.
He's like that fucking squid, like in that cartoon, whatever. I don't know what it is, like a hillbilly squid dude, but it's just Andrew in a MAGA hat.
Yeah.
He stole it to complete his fucking shrine of Arnold in his closet.
Imagine, hey, Arnold, but he just wore a MAGA hat.
Just has a fucking instead of that Little blue one.
Oh, man.
Fuck
Remember
yeah,
when
dude.
fucking Andrew like lived on Timmy's floor and supported himself entirely with sperm bank donations? We called him the freeloader.
Oh yeah. Fuck yeah, dude. I've been doing this other thing that's not funny either. Just going along with my little intro thing where I've been changing song lyrics. Like instead of memory, I just been saying Ram and then I just stop there. So it's never funny at all. But I think my favorite one so far is one night, one more time. Thanks for the Ram. And then I just stop.
Fuck yeah.
Did you do the I could be your ram? And said I could be your memory.
Country guys think you're talking about pickup trucks.
So, alrighty, thank you to everyone that sent us those nice and wonderful messages and made episode 100 a great milestone for us. Hashtag Wildman all around to you beautiful
Hashtag
boys.
Wildman.
Hashtag
And Wild Woman.
thanks T-Bro Nut Sex.
Oh, fuck
And
yeah.
Wild Woman and Wild Kid and all the other wild people out there. And I do want to mention, I know we just spent 5 minutes talking about bullshit, but there are a few things I want to talk about real quick before we jump into today's case. So if this is like your first episode or you just want to get straight to the case, I'd probably fast forward like 5 minutes or
You
something.
just fast forward the whole thing.
Yeah, just go to the end.
Yeah.
Hear Toof's words of wisdom.
There should be a skip button somewhere. Just get it over with.
Skip.
So we were talking about possibly starting up like a Snapchat group. Like there's like Facebook groups and things like that, but I don't use Facebook. But we do have a Snapchat group. It's just us and Australian Daniel currently. But we were thinking about maybe just having all of our listeners that want to be part of it, send us a message and we'll add you to it. Just something we can send funny shit to each other, and it doesn't even have to just be podcast stuff, just anything funny. Or just anything at all, really. Just something fun to
And
do.
honestly, if you just come for the Australian Daniel, we totally understand.
Yeah, it's fucking worth it.
Yeah.
It's fucking
dude.
worth it.
Yeah, so if you want to, if you're already my friend on Snapchat, or if you just want to join the group, my Snapchat is kgreen6337, and send me a message saying you want to be part of it, and then I'll add you to the group or have Spence add you. I forget how it works. Can anyone just do
think
it?
so.
Cool. So yeah, I think that'd be something cool, something fun to do.
It's not your password too, right? In case
No.
in case you get hacked again, my friend.
No.
Oh yeah, I forgot. Your fucking password's Sloppy Joe Dick anyway. All right.
Yeah, dude.
Wow.
Just because that's the nickname my dad gave me when I was 6.
They haven't got me yet because mine's Sloppy Joe Dick too. So they haven't figured that part out yet.
He named you that because like it's just somehow when he said when you were younger you got buns.
Jesus.
Also, since iTunes has a new true crime category, we are true crime and also comedy, so we should pop up in those charts if we ever get big enough. When we first signed up or switched it over to true crime, we were like right around 150, 130, and then we immediately dropped off. So I don't exactly know how this works, but like every other day, we're like 125, 130, and then 400 the next day, and we just
Nice.
keep bouncing in and out. But it looks like no one else moves. So I really don't know how this whole thing works. But if you want to help us out, and if you haven't left us a review, subscribed, or shared it with friends, that'd be super cool. So we can try to keep up in there. If not, that's fine. And then the last thing I wanted to mention is that, I don't know if you guys listen to Joe Rogan or not. Do you guys?
Yeah.
I know Toof does sometimes.
Fair amount.
I don't usually.
They do something called Sober October. Like they partake in that, where it's like a month-long thing. And I thought it'd be kind of cool if we did something like that, where like for the month of October, like it doesn't have to be Sober October, but like something that we all do, whether it's like don't drink soda or beer for the month, or don't eat fast food or something like that. I don't know. We'll have to think about it.
Don't trim our bushes.
Oh, fuck.
Don't trim our bushes.
Hey, I'm already fucking leading you guys in that one. All right now.
But something like that, and I thought maybe we could have listeners of the show give us ideas, and then maybe we'll put a poll on our Patreon or something. You guys could vote on it. And
like
then if listeners want to fucking go along with it too, they could message us like their status and updates, like how they're doing with whatever we're doing.
Yeah, show us
Something-
some bushes, man. Send us the pictures.
Something could be good. I don't know if it's gonna be bush trimming, but it could be. It could just
like
be
a-
bush
I hope so.
listening.
Like a bunch of 70s Playboy magazines.
You have to trim your bush while listening to Glycerine.
Oh, fuck yeah.
I'm down with mustache month.
Alrighty. So that's just a couple ideas, a couple things I want to talk about. You guys got anything before we jump into the case?
I think so.
For Mustache Month, too, if you have to grow a mustache that's wider than just directly underneath your nose.
Oh, yeah.
I don't know if he can do that, man. That's not in his blood.
Yeah, I'm
not in his genes.
I'm not going to steal Andrew's look, okay?
Oh, fuck yeah.
Dude, my kid is going to be 25% Nazi.
Nice.
Yeah. His great grandfather was legit in the SS.
Yeah. Hey, let's try to bump that number up a little bit.
So
we want like a 50%.
Let's try to bump. How do we do?
We're gonna figure out how, but we want to
do that?
We want a 50%. Just become a Nazi now.
Oh shit.
He's also going to be, if I can get this right, he or she is going to be 50% of 2/3 of the evil axis. Well, Italy doesn't count. You know what? They're all the evil axis.
Okay, the last thing I want to mention. You guys see that the fucking bagel guy is gonna fight Lenny Dykstra?
Fuck yeah! I did not know that. He's gonna get his ass whooped,
dude. I straight up, I know this is wrong. I hope Lenny Dykstra actually fucking kills him, like for real, murders him. I hope he like uppercuts his head clean off.
Wait, who the fuck's the bagel guy? Like, who is that?
He's the fucking little dude who got upset because dating sites. That guy?
No, I'm not sure.
He's 5 foot even, and he got mad at some point at a store because he's like, dating sites, they don't give a fuck about me. I'm fucking 5 foot. They fucking treat me like shit. And then he like starts like mouthing off to people and gets his ass beat there too.
He's like, you can't tell me what to do. You're not my god or my father or something.
You're not
stupid
my
like
boss,
that.
my father, or my god.
But he's trying to like sell hats and shit that say that. He's just an asshole. That's all he is. And he's trying to like, he thinks he's a celebrity now, but he's just always constantly trying to be like a little tough dude and getting his ass beat. I really like Lenny Dykstra is a piece of shit, but I hope he just fucking kills this bagel guy. Yeah, I hope somehow Lenny Dykstra kills the bagel guy, and then Lenny Dykstra just becomes likable, like becomes a fucking hero.
Is Lenny?
That's what I hope.
Is he that wrestler?
I'm a good guy now. No,
Lenny
that's
Dykstra
Kenny.
is the baseball.
Yeah, it's Kenny
baseball
Dykstra.
player. Kenny Dykstra, dude.
Yeah, that's the wrestler.
Kenny, right?
Yeah, it's the same one.
Spirit Squad.
He fucking beat Ric Flair once.
Who the fuck is Lenny Oh, dude, that's Lenny Dykstra. Fucking A, dude.
He's gonna straight up fucking murder him.
Dude, are you sure, man?
Dude, if you look at shit that Lenny Dykstra talks about, he just talks about eating girls' pussies. That's like, fuck yeah. That's like all he talks about.
Okay, all right. Because I was saying the first picture I found was this fat fucking old guy.
Dude, he is. That's what he is now.
Yeah.
But he's fucking awesome.
Is it a boxing match or is it MMA?
It's like, I don't know how it's celebrity boxing. How is a fucking bagel guy a celebrity?
Yeah, that's true.
He's just a fucking little dude that no one likes. Like, no one likes this guy.
Dude,
Lenny Dykstra's
almost 6 feet tall.
Dude, I hope he fucking straight kills him.
Dude, Lenny Dykstra's nickname is Lenny and Nails.
Yeah, nails, dude, because he's tough as nails.
That's fucking awesome.
He's been in so much trouble for dumb shit, dude. Like, he's just a straight scumbag. He's like a huge scumbag.
I hope he beats up the fucking bagel guy, bends him over and fucks him and says, "You're the pie now."
Oh, yeah. Alrighty, so we're fucking like 20 minutes in. We should start the episode. So here we go, episode 101. And for this case, we are leaving our hometown of Ashland, Ohio, but we are still going to be staying in the old Buckeye State, right in the capital,
Ooh.
straight out of Columbus, and by request from the old lady's grandmother, not to be confused with the ex-girlfriend's grandmother, who every time I see her, she reminds me of fucking Skyrim and going into the crypts.
Oh, fuck yeah. The Draugr.
Oh my god, yes.
The Draugr were training. Did
And
you ever see that meme?
Hey, Kevin, you should probably be, scrubbing the side of this barn.
Like, go fuck yourself.
And a little bit unlike Skyrim, the reason you don't see her anymore is because that one time he got drunk at the party and tried to go diving in them tits.
All right.
Oh, that only happened once?
That was just the one time.
Today's case is the mysterious murder of Mary Margaret, nickname Peggy Andrews.
Oh,
So, Peggy Andrews. And this is an interesting one. I've never heard of it before. But the old lady's grandma, she used to live in Columbus near where it happened. So she remembers when this happened. And I think she was friends with Peggy's cousin or something. I can't remember exactly. But yeah, I'd never heard of it. And she wanted me to check this one out.
All right.
Thank God she doesn't listen.
Yeah, we'll check it out. We just don't listen to it.
Because 3 episodes ago, it was just a song about me, I don't know, something with my grandma's pussy. I don't remember, though.
Oh, yeah.
So we don't take part in any of this podcast controversy, we will name our sources right here. ColumbusMonthly.com, ColumbusNavigator.com, and 614now.com. So there's not a ton of information on this case, but everything we got was from those 3 websites.
What's the controversy thing you just mentioned?
Yeah.
Did we get in shit, or did someone else?
No.
Oh, okay.
No one listens to us, dude. No one fucking,
I mean, we're not gonna yell at ourselves. So we're the only ones that fucking listen.
The top true crime podcast, or one of them that's always at the top, is Crime Junkie. Yeah, I don't want to mess it up because there's one called Court Junkie, which we saw at the podcast convention, but it's not them. I'm pretty sure it's Crime Junkie. I guess they weren't saying their sources. And they were also word for word almost stealing scripts from other true crime podcasts.
Fuck yeah. Hashtag Wildman.
To where it was super blatant. and I mean, in our first 80 episodes, we didn't list sources, which I didn't even think about. I mean, I've been doing it for the last couple months.
You've been doing it for a while.
And if it's ever word for word, I always say quote.
Yeah.
They would straight take, I guess, scripts that other podcasts researched and wrote up, and they would kind of play it off it's almost word for word a script that another podcaster did.
Wow.
Imagine you hear that podcast and they're like, all right, I got this idea for a movie. It's called Shit Socket Eyehole.
Oh, fuck yeah, dude. I'd be fine with it. It needs more exposure.
No, we can't have people stealing our best ideas.
Yeah, they're all right, I hope you like this end of the this episode of Court Junkie. And now for words of wisdom. You see, me and Andrew, we've been working at this fucking horse barn, all right? Saddlebags.
You just stole fucking twos for tonight. He's like, fuck, that was exactly mine.
And now, just to clarify, I don't fully know everything about the whole Crime Junkie thingy, so I have no idea what. I could be wrong. I think that was a little bit about it. I mean, I'm not hating on them or anything. I know there's a lot of people that are giving them shit and hating on them, which, I mean, rightfully so. If they stole someone else's script and did it, that's shitty. Sure. But yeah, I don't know the details, so this is just me speaking about something I don't know anything about.
It kind of sucks. I researched the wrong thing. Because you told me the other day, over the phone when we talked, it must have been cut out or something. I thought you said Baggy Andrew, and I thought it was when we bought him all that Taco Bell.
Shit.
There's not really sources on that one. So
Wait,
I mean,
which time?
exactly.
Yeah, when I first started, okay, never mind. It was just gonna be pegging Andrew.
You should have finished it. You should have finished it.
I didn't even get. All right, you guys ready? Anything before we start this? 20 minutes in.
Fuck, what are those? Is there pants called jeggings? Is that a thing?
Jeggings.
There's leggings.
I think jeggings a thing where they're jeans.
Oh yeah, jeans that are tight.
Jeggings are a thing.
All right,
dude.
so yeah, jegging Andrew. Okay, I had to get that out.
Oh my god, dude.
I'm going to Photoshop.
I don't fucking know what jeggings are. I just Googled them. The first thing that pops up is PacSun, and then it just looks like regular jeans.
Yeah, they're leggings, but they look like jeans, I think.
Dude, one of my most pussiest things that's ever happened to me in my life, I was at PacSun. I was buying something. I was probably 16, I don't know. And the guy at the counter asked me something, And I just kind of like stared at him blankly for a second because I didn't know what he said.
Yeah.
And I was like, oh, I'm sorry. What was that? He's like, oh, you got too much on the gaydar. And I didn't. And I didn't defend myself. I just like put my head down, paid, and left. Like I didn't even defend myself.
Yeah,
I just.
dude. It's crazy. That's the first day you met Toof.
Like I didn't fully understand what he meant by it.
I don't know. That probably pretty much it was probably the same guy that thought you guys called him a rail pussy.
Oh, yeah.
dude.
Have I told that? We've told that story, right?
Yeah, I think more than once. I think honestly.
Okay.
But you
All
can
right.
never have it enough.
I guess, okay, I'll tell it again real quick since we haven't started the episode anyways. One time at Cedar Point, we were on the Magnum, which, I mean, was the biggest coaster there at one point, and this was like 10 years after that. So we were on the Magnum, and me and my buddy Jason were just sitting in the very back car, and the dude in front of us is just an older guy, like nothing... Didn't even think about him at all. I don't even know what this was about at all. And we get off the ride, and as we're leaving, he turns and stares us down, and he's like, I don't appreciate the comments, boys. We're like, what? What are you talking about? You called me a rail pussy. I don't even know what that is. What's a rail pussy? Is that
guy.
anything?
It's just that guy, I guess.
And I know this is gonna sound weird, like made up, but I swear he had like an extra set of nostrils. It was fucking weird.
Yeah, dude. Fuck yeah.
Okay, don't Google. I Googled rail pussy. Don't do that. The first one, the fourth thing is sexy tweaker. Let me take pics and rail her pussy badly at the motel.
Fuck yeah, dude. The video that made my mom famous.
Oh my god.
Alrighty, so let's get this fucking episode started. So to begin, we have a young woman by the name of Mary Margaret Andrews, but she goes by the nickname of Peggy. And Peggy, she was a student at Bliss College in Columbus, Ohio.
Interesting.
Yes.
Tim knows why too.
Alexa Bliss?
Yeah, from Columbus.
Yeah.
I thought... Oh, I'm sorry. Go
No,
on.
that's just it. I mean, Alexa Bliss is from Columbus. I wonder if that's like why she chose that name.
Yeah, that's kind of cool actually. Huh.
Yeah.
I was going to make a joke about good morning, Miss Bliss, but I didn't know if anyone would know what that was.
I've had a couple of those.
Good morning, Miss Bliss was just like the show before Saved by the Bell, but it had like Zach and Screech and a bunch of other idiots.
Oh, really?
Wow. I don't remember that at all.
So, Bliss College, I couldn't find a whole lot of information on it, but I did come across an old newspaper from 1904 that had some information on it. So, quote straight from the newspaper, Bliss College has opened the door of success to hundreds of ambitious young men and women. It is the largest commercial college in Ohio and is well known everywhere as a leader in business education. It is endorsed by leading educators and businessmen, has a large faculty of specialists, and maintains a broad course of study.
Oh, yeah.
And there's also a part in the newspaper where it says, quote, all combined course graduates of Bliss College have been placed into positions. To any person proving this statement false, we will donate $500 in cash.
Oh, fuck. Yeah, let's prove that shit false. We all got to pay rent somehow.
I don't know why that's so fucking funny to me, though. But yeah, the college had opened on September 5th, 1899, and closed on October 3rd, 1993. Yeah, so there's like not a whole lot of information out there on this college. But this case is going to take place in 1962.
Okay.
So Peggy Andrews, she is a 19-year-old college student. She's studying business at Bliss College. And Peggy was born May 3rd, 1943. In the small town of Wintersville, Ohio.
Is that your birthday, too?
What day?
May 3rd?
Nope.
His is the 5th.
Oh, shit, I was
Nope,
close.
the 4th. 4th. I always mix it up because I think it's
May the
Cinco de
4th.
Mayo.
Yeah, okay.
Which, Toof, I haven't forgot. I still got to get your birthday present. I've been looking.
May the 4th
And
be with you.
I'm still searching, bud.
I think I got him like a fucking like Avengers thing or some shit that I found at Walmart.
Just get me that fucking rip-off DVD that they made of Shit Socket Eye Hole. The one that they did with that actor from American Pie. Oh yeah, Jason Biggs. It's called Shit Socket Pie Hole.
Oh,
on 3D Blu-ray, please.
Okay.
Now, Peggy's parents, their names were Alex and Mary, and she also had a brother named Patrick. And Patrick, he was 7 years younger than Peggy, so that would have made him... Oh, my God. Okay, I'm so sorry. Spence just posted a fucking Photoshop picture of Andrew's face. Oh, my God. Who's that on?
It's so good.
Who's the girl?
It's just jeggings. It's just Google images jeggings.
Yeah, it's
Okay,
him wearing
that's fucking
jeggings.
good.
Hey, Kev,
so
who cares who that's on? I'm about to be on that.
Oh,
fuck yeah.
shit. So Patrick, he was 7 years younger than Peggy, so that would have made him 11 years old when Peggy moved out and went to college. And Peggy went to a Catholic high school in Steubenville, Ohio, and she would graduate from there in 1961. She would attend Catholic Mass every morning and would then write letters to her friends that included prayers that she would write for them. So that's super nice of her. Pretty cool. Here's a quote. They'd see, "O Mary, conceived without sin," and "Saint Joseph, pray for us," those two quotes, written in cursive at the top of the letter, and immediately know that it was from Peggy. And Peggy also talked about one day becoming a nun.
She also drew those S's that we used to draw in the 90s.
The fucking money, yeah.
yeah.
Okay, this joke was gonna be so fucking stupid. It didn't even make any sense. It was gonna Steubenville. Wow, this is how bad this joke is. It was gonna be that after American Idol, I'm not even gonna say it.
We already know where you're
The
going.
punchline was gonna be Stutteredville.
Ruben Stutter.
Reubenville.
Yeah.
I couldn't decide on Reubenville or Stutteredville. I couldn't figure out how to tell the joke.
Dude, that's
yeah.
actually
It was
not
dumb.
bad because Steubenville is where all those football players raped that girl.
Oh shit, is it?
Yep.
I thought that was the Duke lacrosse team. What, they have a fucking away game?
No, they just had an alumni game.
That's actually kind of weird you brought that up, because we are going to segue into this next part about... Never mind, it's going to be a Brock Turner joke. Okay.
Oh, Jesus. Holy shit. Hopefully that guy's been murdered by now.
I don't think he's in trouble. Is he?
I mean, his face is out there, though. Like people are just going to kill him at one point, you would think.
Yeah, but they might kill Michael Cera by accident.
That's true. They do like a lot of Me and Spence talked about this yesterday.
Fuck, dude. Brock Turner. So Peggy, she would then immediately move out of her parents' home, and then she would move into a boarding house where she would share a room with 2 other women. And in total at this boarding house, there would be 18 co-eds and then 2... what are they called? House mothers or something like that were living there as well.
Yeah, the house mothers.
So she moves into this boarding house where 20 people are living total. That sounds kind of fun. Until Black Christmas happens.
Oh, fuck yeah, dude.
Fuck
They're
yeah,
remaking
about
that
time.
again.
Again?
Yeah.
I didn't like the fucking remake.
I didn't like any of them, but I'll fucking still watch it.
Hey, Daddy's home.
That's so fucking dumb.
Yeah, I don't even want to talk.
Oh,
about
so
it. It
Andrew's
really
in it?
sucks.
Oh yeah, he is.
I'll never forget that part where he comes in at the end and they're like, "Daddy's home," and then the one scared co-ed is like, "He may have been your father, but he wasn't your daddy."
That's not what that's from, Kevin.
No, I know it's not from that. It's from like Guardians of the Galaxy.
That's not what that's from, Kevin.
So Peggy, after moving out, she was working full-time during the day as an accountant secretary, and then at night, a couple days a week, she would start taking her college business classes. And here's a quote from Columbus Monthly. Peggy was smart, well-liked, and deeply religious. People close to her described her as being carefree and lighthearted. And another quote from Columbus Monthly. She was the kind of person who would befriend an outcast or welcome a girl new to town into her social circle. Childhood friends still refer to Peggy as the leader of their group, the one whose house was a frequent gathering place on a Friday or Saturday night. Memories of the neighborhood hayride during her 16th birthday party still make her friends smile. So hell yeah, she sounds like a hashtag wild woman. She's a hardworking girl. She's working full time and taking night classes, and she's only 19.
Andrew accidentally showed up a couple of times because you said gathering. And he got a little confused, but It's fine. It's fine.
I was going to say it still makes her friend smile, but since it was 60 years ago, they don't have any teeth anymore.
It's true. It's true.
But they have a mouthful of circus peanuts.
You know what? I'm just gonna say it now because it's already too late for you to edit it in, so I might as well just get it out.
Yeah.
When you said that Guardians of the Galaxy line, I was trying to come up with one that was the homeless guy from Happy Gilmore. He looks over at Shooter and then Billy Madison, and he says he might have been your golfer, but he wasn't your caddy.
Jesus. Look. You had
Hell
to
yeah,
have that
dude.
one in. I like it.
I'll edit that back, and when I go back and edit, I'm also going to add in another Happy Gilmore joke, but it's just about Brock Turner and Shooter saying, play it where it lies.
Jesus.
Fuck yeah.
Holy
Yeah,
shit.
that's one of the worst things I've probably ever said.
Rules to live by.
So here we go. The date is September 20th, 1962. It is a Thursday evening at around 5 p.m., and Peggy, she had just finished up at her job, and she was going to be heading to class soon. But before heading over, she meets up with her two female roommates, Carol Maxwell and Carol Ike, and then two other classmates that were males.
Were they white males?
You're
They fucking
white male. What was that, Carl the Cuck?
Yeah.
Are you kidding me? Oh, no, he wasn't the one who said it. He was the one that, like, in the background. He's like, are you kidding me? I guarantee that kid plays bass. I guarantee it, dude.
Oh, God.
Because I played bass. So before heading over, the five of them, they meet right outside the accountant's office where Peggy's working. And this part is a little bit confusing, but I think the group, they all go to class together. But after getting out of class, Peggy, she had a cold. She wasn't feeling that great, and so she didn't want to ride on a full bus with a bunch of people. She just wanted to get home. So she hitched a ride with her friend and fellow classmate, Ron Negutt.
Oh.
Negutt. Negutt.
Fuck, dude. There's so many jokes we can go with on that one.
No, dude, it's like a combination of
Yeah.
the two words we're not allowed to say
Yeah.
on this podcast.
The F, the N.
Well, let's just turn it into the Love Connection name then. Robert.
Yeah.
No.
Nigga.
No.
Ron, what's your favorite candy bar? What's your favorite part of it? The nugget.
He took her home hoping that later they could both get Negutt.
That's a good one, dude.
I mean, I know for sure what he fucking orders at Wendy's. Just nice
Yeah,
nuggets again.
Yeah, dude, and I know what fucking NBA team he's representing.
The Nuggets.
Okay.
We went
This
clean.
fucking
We went
well
clean
went
with this
dry
one. That's
so
fine. No, we
quickly.
went clean with it. That's good.
What's funny is I couldn't actually tell if you said which word you actually said.
Leave it in.
Nugget.
Oh, I said
Dude,
nugget.
Rod, come on, man. Quit being a nugget. Neg.
Dude, if he was black, you couldn't say his fucking last name. There'd be no way.
Dude. Ronald N. Ronald
Yeah.
Nice Man.
Yeah.
Imagine the
there's no way.
NFL draft.
Mr. Nugget. What'd you just call me?
He just stands on stage sweating. Say his fucking name, bigot.
For the first pick in the 2023 NBA draft, the Cleveland Cavaliers select, and he like looks around all nervous, sweating. Ron Negutt.
Hell yeah. I like how the Cavs still have the first pick fucking
I know, dude.
years from now.
So Peggy, she's not feeling good, and she doesn't want to ride the bus home, which is understandable. And so she hitches a ride back with her friend and fellow classmate, Ron Negutt. And Ron drives her the 3 miles from the school to the apartment. He pulls up to her boarding house and drops her off. And then he watches her walk to the door of her boarding house, which there was a street lamp right there, so he could see her walk to the door and everything. It had clear sight. And he didn't watch her go in. He just takes off as soon as he sees that she's at the door. And then I really like this part. According to the article, he was, quote, eager to meet his buddies at the 7-Eleven club. So he took off before washing or go inside because he really wanted to meet up with his buddies at the 7-Eleven club, which is a bar, unfortunately, and not some sweet club where they just hang out enjoying big gulps.
Dude, that's really what I thought it was.
We should start a 7-Eleven club.
Yeah. Enjoying big gulps and then talking to Indian dudes. Like, that'd be cool. And that's not even racist. You can't find one that there's no fucking Indian dude working in.
Isn't there a band called like 7-Eleven or something?
Probably.
It's like a Disney band.
I feel like that's
oh shit! No, it's S Club 7. Is that a band?
Oh shit! No, it's Fozzy.
Fozzy, dude, Jericho. So the 7-Eleven Club is a bar. It's not actually a cool big gulp hangout group. But Ron, he's eager to go meet up with his boys. So as soon as he drops her off and sees her walking towards the door, he leaves, and he ends up arriving at the 7-Eleven Club at around 9:30 or so. So it's believed, I think he said he dropped her off like a little after 9. So around the same time at 9:30 p.m., so he drops her off around 9, he gets to the bar at 9:30, and then at 9:30 p.m., the Carrolls, which were Peggy's roommates, they both arrive back at the boarding house, and together with the house mothers, they're kind of just sitting up waiting around for Peggy to arrive back. So they're kind of like, well, you know, she got a ride home. We took the bus. She should have got here like way before us. So they're kind of getting a little bit worried.
Yeah.
Now we cut to Woodruff Avenue, Woodruff, which is near the Ohio State campus.
Okay. Oh, yeah.
Yeah, put that the Ohio State campus,
Yeah,
which I
you,
heard they're
Michigan.
trying to fucking like copyright that.
They did.
No, they did.
Yeah.
How?
I don't know. I don't fucking know how. Especially when like there was other ones, like there's other colleges that did that. Like I've started the before them.
Do you remember when Dayton beat them in basketball, and the newspaper, it said the University of Dayton, and the took up like half the newspaper page.
My
Hell
God, yes.
That's amazing.
So now we're going to cut across to Woodruff Avenue near the Ohio State campus, and college student Gary Ontko, I think his name is, how you pronounce it? Gary. He had been, I like how he said Gary, like that's the word I didn't know how to pronounce. You know, Gary.
It must be Gary.
But Gary, he had been spending the day moving into a new apartment with 2 of his friends, and inside the apartment, one of his roommates, he's already in his pajamas, getting ready for the night to end, and that's when he realizes, oh, fuck. I left the windows rolled down in my 1953 Buick.
Ooh, Buick.
And the Buick, it was parked near a garage in the alley, and since he was already in his PJs, Gary, being the good dude that he is, he volunteered to go out there and roll the windows up for him.
Okay, that's nice. Good guy.
And this would have been around 11:30 p.m. at night whenever Gary goes outside. And that would also be around the same time that he makes a grim discovery.
Gary.
Fallout, dude. Gary. So the garage that the Buick was parked near, it was a large garage that could hold 6 cars, but it had been mostly empty throughout the day. And if you go on the websites we mentioned for the sources, I think Columbus Monthly, which, I don't know, I can't remember which one it was in exactly, but they have pictures of the garage and everything like that. So Gary, he's walking toward the garage, and with the light of the moon or a nearby street lamp, they said, something that was reflecting light, he saw something on the cement of the garage that he couldn't quite make out what it was, but the light was reflecting off it.
Yeah.
And at first, he thought maybe it was just some scrap or a sack or something. But when he got closer, he noticed that what he saw, there were actually 2 of them now that were reflecting light. And still unable to make out exactly what it was, he got a little bit closer. And that's when he realized he was looking at a pair of pale human legs.
Whoa.
I mean, they were connected to a body, but he didn't see the body. He only saw the legs.
Yeah.
And as soon as he saw that, he didn't look anymore. He just saw the legs, and he took off running. He was panicked because it's not every day that you just stumble across a dead body. Unless you're mine and Tooth's high school English teacher that found 3 dead bodies on 3 separate occasions.
It's fucking insane.
They should make a movie about that lady.
Yeah, she's nuts, dude. So Gary, he then runs into his apartment, and he yells to his friend, quote, "I hope it's my imagination, but I think there's a body in the garage." and it was just my imagination.
Running away with me.
And the group of friends, they don't have a phone in their apartment, so they drive down to a nearby diner, and then they contact the police from there. And then about 15 minutes later, the officers show up to the garage to investigate, and that is when they find the body of a young woman.
Okay.
Creepy stuff.
Legs first.
And Peggy, she was still wearing her secretary's attire. She had a white blouse buttoned to the top, a brown sweater over it, and then also a tan skirt and a red coat. She had on her Steubenville Catholic Central High School class ring. She was also wearing a silver watch, and then her brown curly hair, she also had a small black bow that was pinned in it. And after investigating and looking over the body, turns out Peggy had been shot 3 times in the face.
Oh, wow.
And then, with the positioning of her clothes, they also assumed that she had been sexually assaulted.
Ugh.
And the autopsy would show that the bullet wounds in her face were from a small caliber weapon, and also that she had a jagged wound near her hairline. And the detectives, they believed that that jagged wound, it was either from where she fell after being shot, or the killer had also pistol whipped her.
Oh,
shit.
okay.
Was it a jagged wound, or was it more like a lightning-shaped scar
Oh,
in
fuck.
her hairline?
My
Fucking
God, dude.
Voldemort, dude.
Oh, dude.
He's learned how to use guns. We're fucked.
Fuck. You thought it was your father, but it was you all along, Harry. But yeah, so whoever did this, whoever killed Peggy, shot her 3 times in the face. And then also, there was another bullet hole that was found on the collar of her coat. So whoever did this shot at her 4 times, hitting 3 times, and then either pistol whipped her in the head or she fell and hit her head. Either way, pretty brutal, pretty unnecessary.
Yeah, for sure.
And here's another quote from Columbus Monthly. It is a couple of sentences long, but I am reading it because there is a part of it that kind of contradicts with a little bit of information. Like one of the sources say they believe that she was sexually assaulted, and then there's a reason why they're going to believe that, but then, yeah, there's part of a quote that just doesn't really make sense. So here we go. Quote, "The palms of her hands were dirty, but her short nails were clean. There was black dust on the soles of both her feet, even though her left shoe was still in place. Both her girdle and underwear had been ripped, and her garter had been torn off. Her slip had been rolled up. Semen was found on the back of her skirt, though the autopsy determined she hadn't been raped." Which...
You like jerked it on
I mean,
her,
it
or-
sounds like a fucking rape. Sounds like
Yeah.
she was raped.
The
Yeah,
guy's
kinda does.
penis was too small to enter her, so he jerked off on top of her. It was Andrew, case closed.
Oh, God.
You say her palms were dirty or her palms were sweaty? I'm sorry.
God, dude. Oh.
Because I mean, if there was vomit on her sweater at all, I know who did it.
So one source say that she was sexually assaulted. So maybe there was semen on the back of her skirt, and I mean, all of her underwear, everything was ripped off from pretty much the waist down. So something happened. The young woman would soon be identified as 19-year-old Peggy Andrews. And Peggy's purse was thrown about in the garage, and she was also wearing a long red coat that was covered in dirt. And then also, behind her boarding house, all of her school books, they were neatly stacked up. So they weren't just like thrown about or anything. Like back at the boarding house where she was dropped off, outside the door, or it might have been out back, I can't remember. All of her school books were left neatly stacked.
Like almost like she sat them there and then left.
Yeah. That's what they think.
Yeah, that's crazy.
And not only that, but one of Carol's friends, before she got on the bus and before Peggy was going to leave with Ron, she gave Peggy a bag, and she's like, "Hey, since you're going home, so I don't have to take this on the bus with me, could you take this bag, please?" And the bag was from when she like went shopping earlier or something. But that bag was left near the stack of books also.
Probably did have a bunch of weed.
Mr. Sesame Seed, there's something wrong with your bag. That song sucks.
It's more seed than it's weed.
So there's a stack of books, and then the bag that Peggy got from Carol that had shopping stuff in it. Those were left neatly. But where Peggy's body was found, all the stuff in her purse was thrown about the garage. So it's a little weird. Here is another quote, and this is from Detective Farbacher.
Oh,
I think that's
yeah.
his. Never mind. It's gonna be a fart knocker joke.
Sorry, mine was gonna be that he could just knock on doors from really far away. Far knocker.
It's FARBACHER.
That's gotta be Farbacher or Farbacher.
Farbacher.
Yeah, it's gotta be Farbacher.
Hey, you want me to play a center field? Is this all right? No, go Farbacher. Okay, that's not even gonna be good. That's not even a good joke at all.
He was in that movie with Al Pacino. No. Who the fuck's the other guy? Robert De Niro. That's it. Meet the Far Knockers.
Yes.
There's no way that movie would have had the success it did if the name of it was Meet the Fart Knockers. There's no way.
We would have watched it.
Because farts in movies, I don't laugh at any fake fart noise in movies. Like, they're so not funny.
You don't laugh at the fart scene in Scooby-Doo?
I haven't seen it. I'm guessing it sucks. I'm going to look it up right now. It's in the movie.
It's fucking bad.
There's a scene where Scooby and Shaggy have like a fart off.
It's fucking bad.
Oh, God. That already sounds cringy.
The movie itself is fucking terrible.
The video I'm loading is Scooby-Doo 2002 fart scene, in parentheses, second most viewed video. I hope that means of the entire video collection
world
on YouTube.
ever, yeah. Like, it's viewed more than the JFK assassination.
Oh my God, this is
Imagine
fucking awful.
uploading that and making like you're a millionaire off the fucking all the ad money you make from it and shit. Off the Scooby-Doo fart. You make more money than the fucking movie itself from YouTube.
Dad, where did we get all our money?
Well, son.
Oh my God, this is bad, dude.
I mean, I didn't recommend you do that.
It's fucking, dude, those movies are fucking terrible.
And they didn't have to be. Some of the casting was really good.
Yeah, it could have been good.
I'm fucking laughing now, dude. Not at the fart, just because it's just, oh man,
It's
I'm
legit just
embarrassed.
them
I
fucking
laughed at
trading
that.
farts.
So Detective Farbacher says, quote, "It's unique because the items were all piled up. It's not like they were scattered everywhere. Their theory at the time, and I think it's probably correct, is she walked down that walkway to go to the back of the house. She gets confronted back there by a person with a gun who probably ordered her to put that stuff down and come with me, and then took her up the alley to where she was ultimately killed."
Yeah, that makes sense.
Sounds like what probably happened.
Yeah.
And in the newspaper a couple days later, there is a letter, which is a pretty fucking badass letter. Like, this is a hardcore, pretty badass letter from the Columbus Dispatch. It is a little bit long, but this is what it is. It is titled, "Open Letter to Slayer of Coed. To the killer of Mary Margaret Andrews. We know you are frightened, and we know you need help. You've had nearly 100 hours of terror, such as only the hunted animal may know, but the hunted animal does not have your memories of a young girl, vibrantly alive, then suddenly dead in a darkened alley. No matter how long you elude police, you will not escape yourself waking or sleeping for one moment. Mary's mother says she has, quote, no bitterness toward the man who killed her, but this compassionate woman does beg you to, quote, turn yourself in so no other girl is harmed. If you do not surrender, the hours you've just passed through are only the initiation to a personal hell from which you'll never escape. If you are afraid to call the police, call the dispatch. Ask for the city editor. He will arrange for your surrender in the presence of dispatch newsmen who will ensure that you are taken into proper custody without harm. If you feel you first want to secure an attorney, you may telephone the Columbus Bar Association at 40 South 3rd Street. And that was from the Columbus Dispatch on September 25th, 1962.
Damn, that is badass.
But yeah, dude, that's a pretty good one. I like how it was in the fucking newspaper. They're just like, if you do not surrender, the hours you've just passed through are only the initiation to a personal hell from which you'll never escape.
I mean, yeah, because
that was pretty cool.
Like, who can live with killing somebody?
Yeah, dude, something sexual happened. I mean, he nutted on her skirt.
Yeah,
but he shot her 3 times in the face. So it's not like it was like like he did it and maybe it was like, oh fuck, what happened, or like an accident. Because he fucking fired 3 shots.
Yeah, he knew what the fuck he was doing.
So the police, they speak to all of her friends and everyone that was in her life, but almost everyone that she knows gets cleared as suspects. Quote, with the previous theory in mind, detectives began to piece together the puzzle. First, they questioned the 2 men who reported her body, also students at Columbus Business University. Investigators summarized the interview this way, quote, Both of these subjects were thoroughly checked out, and their stories have been sustained that they just recently moved into this address. Both subjects were very straightforward with their story and apparently very frightened by their experience. Eventually, the men agreed to take polygraph tests, and both of them passed. So that would have been Gary and his friend inside. And then next, the police, they decide they want to talk to the last person that was known to have seen Peggy alive, Ron Neggett. Quote, he told detectives he'd only known Peggy for a month or two, and they were friendly but not romantically involved. Investigators thoroughly searched his car, removing hubcaps, and scouring the vehicle inside and out, looking for clues. He passed both a polygraph and is it paraffin test? Is that what it's called? The gun residue test?
Yeah,
I think
sounds
it is.
about right.
I thought it was a proficiency test. He didn't fail. He failed a science, but he got it the next year, so we're good.
Dude, is that what a fucking penguin's called? A paraffin or something like that?
Something close to that.
Yeah.
So he passed both a polygraph and a paraffin test, which at the time was the most accurate way of determining whether a person had recently fired a gun. So Ron Neggett, he is cleared as well. And then the detectives next, they spoke with over 60 sex offenders in the Columbus area by the end of the first week. And then if there's anyone on the streets they thought looked a little bit suspicious, they would question them as well, bring them back to the station and talk to them and question them. So it really does sound like they were fucking going out of their way to try to figure out who did this. They talked to like everyone.
Yeah, they were pretty pissed that it wasn't Ron because they really thought it was him. And like after he was cleared, this is so fucking stupid. But after he was cleared, they're like, you know what, Ron, get out of here.
They kept changing his name. They're like, are you sure it wasn't you, Ron the Gun? That's not even funny at all.
I love it.
Are you sure you didn't fire that gun? Ron the Gun? Gun the Gun? It's not even funny. They just start calling him Gun. Like, that doesn't even rhyme with Ron.
Oh, yeah, it does.
Don't change your testimony later, you'll be reneging.
Renege it.
Renege it. I got a pretty long quote right here to read. It's like 3 paragraphs. I didn't want to. I mean, I was going to rewrite it, but it would have just ended up being almost the exact same. So we're just taking this straight from the article. Quote, police began investigating a connection between the killing and a crime that happened nearby the night before. A woman on Alden Avenue, less than a mile from where Peggy was found, reported being accosted in front of her home by a man with a gun. The man ordered her inside and forced her to perform a sex act. 1962 was Sean Gray born yet? I don't remember.
Oh, Jesus. Would he fucking hide in the fucking couch?
Yeah, so the only reason we're laughing, if you haven't listened to the last episode, Sean Gray, a huge piece of shit, pretty much did this exact same thing, but he would hide in the couch for like days. So the man ordered her inside and forced her to perform a sex act. At some point during the incident, she shouted for help to a roommate who emerged from his room to confront the attacker, who then fired 2 shots before running away.
Oh, shit. Did you have this girl's name?
No.
Oh, because I just want to point out almost every name you said in this, like somewhere there's a letter G. There's a lot of fucking G's. Margaret, Peggy, and then Nugget. Fuck, there's a lot of G's in this.
And strangely enough, they're all white people.
Yeah.
Okay, that wasn't funny.
Okay.
That was stupid.
This is a G unit.
So Blaze, just joking. 1 less G in the hood.
That's right.
The Citizen Journal published a sketch of the man suspected in the crime based on a description the victim provided. It was a white man with a small build, young. He was last seen in a bagel shop.
Oh, fuck yeah, dude. Hell yeah.
Actually, he was last seen getting his ass beat by nails.
Fuck yeah.
And within days, Columbus police received 250 phone calls from area residents with tips, and 10 detectives were then assigned to investigate these leads. The bullets found in Peggy's body and those recovered from the scene of the sexual assault on Alden Avenue were sent to the FBI for underwater ballistics testing to determine whether they were fired from the same gun. Tests were inconclusive, but the bullets displayed similar characteristics linking them, like the number and size of lands and grooves imprinted when the gun was fired. Still, the weapon was missing. So that's pretty interesting. The day before Peggy got murdered, the same thing almost happened to another woman. and with the same bullets, same type of gun. And then a little over a year later, something interesting happens. In October of 1963, a .22 caliber pistol was found in a university district drain spout. And there would be testing on the gun, and it turns out that this gun is believed to have been linked to both crimes, and it is believed that this was the actual gun that was in fact used in both crimes. However, that is not 100% certain. Quote, and this is from Detective Farbacher again, all the characteristics of the gun are very consistent with the rounds that were recovered from Peggy. They believe that it was the gun that was used to kill her. Nobody could get up in court and say, yes, that was definitely it, but it has all the characteristics. So it is a .22 handgun that is hidden in the area, like left behind, hidden in a drain pretty much in the area where these crimes were committed. The bad news, though, however, this case is an unsolved case.
Aw.
Shit.
So the police, seems like they did put in a shit ton of work. They had a lot of information. However, nothing really ever came of it. They had different encounters and interviews and questions with thousands of people. They even administered like a bunch of lie detector tests. They collected all the newspaper clippings about the murder, about the two attacks. They had tons of documents, interviews, summaries of possible suspects, crime scene photos. They had a ton of information, tons of questions, and just no answers, unfortunately. And one more quote from Detective Farbacher. Quote, it's an interesting case because there's a lot of physical evidence left behind, though it's from 1962. Here's a case where it's good, which is a rarity. It's not uncommon for evidence this old to have been lost or rendered useless by faulty preservation methods. And for 10 years or so after this happened, into the early 70s, it was like a really hot case. But eventually, they would just run out of steam. Like, they would have no leads, no new information, nothing to go on. And like other cases where that happens, they tend to just shelve it and start working on other crimes, and it just becomes a cold case.
I kind of feel them on that. About 10 seconds into sex, I usually run out of steam, too.
Yeah.
And then you open your laptop up and you open up Steam.
I never run out of that.
We fucking play some Team Fortress 2, baby.
Do you go any more into the detective at all, like about like the rest of his life?
Yeah, we go pretty far Bacher into it.
Oh, I was gonna talk about his. I was gonna talk about his really like just great stellar career as an NBA center. Far blocker. So yeah, he did all right.
So this case pretty much is kind of just put in a folder and left away until the year 2000.
Oh shit!
In the year 2000. In the year 2000.
The fuck?
God.
Holy shit.
I can't wait to look at the waves in your audacity from that. So detectives, they decided that they wanted to take a fresh look at the unsolved murder case. Maybe a new look will reveal something that they missed previously. And so next, the detectives, they go over a bunch of the photographs, the documents, all the things like that. And that's when they realized that they still have Peggy's clothes from that day.
Wow.
Next, they had the clothes sent to the Ohio Bureau of Investigation's crime lab to get some testing done. And that's where a genetic material was extracted from the clothes and then sent to the FBI to obtain a DNA profile because the killer had spunked on the skirt. So they had the killer's DNA, they had his semen.
I've never seen anyone keep around fucking clothes they cummed in or clothes that have been cummed in for 30 years besides us.
Besides your fucking come in my sock.
Fuck yeah. Come in my.
I don't want you to know.
No, Kevin.
Or grandma's blanket.
Kevin, don't touch that. Dead grandma.
Oh, yeah.
Fuck yeah.
Damn, dude, you come in a lot of clothes, doof.
Yeah.
I'm proud of you. You're one of those real boys.
I've got it's such a bad habit that I even bought a manual car and I started coming in that too because I like to come in the clutch.
Do you guys remember that dude who had a relationship with this car? Like he was like telling his dad about it. He's like, yeah, it's we have a relationship. And his dad's like, well, how do you guys like do it? Because he talks about how he has sex.
Yeah.
He's like, well, it's mostly just a lot of me rubbing the car and masturbating.
Hell yeah.
Yeah.
Yes, I do remember myself, Kevin. Thanks, but
Sometimes he does it in the tailpipe.
oh fuck yeah, dude.
Ain't gonna, what's he say? Ain't gonna fall for no banana in my tailpipe. Oh, his car fell for it, all right.
That's right.
Oh yeah.
But the dude would just like lay under the car and just like kiss it and stuff. And he would talk about how like he wouldn't go like on far vacations or drive far away because he would miss his car.
Oh fuck yeah. It's
and I
legit.
think it's like, well, I'm sorry, what were you saying?
I was gonna say it's legit like when SpongeBob got that boat. He like fucking like takes like his socks out there, like has a fucking car where he wear the socks and all that shit.
Yeah, dude. It's a shit, what car is it? Oh, he named the car Chase.
Oh.
He's like kissing the hood and shit. He said he's in a committed relationship. It might be a Lumina.
Oh my god, yes. What a shithole.
Yeah, it's a fucking Lumina.
God, dude. Imagine like fucking a car and it's a fucking Lumina.
That's pretty much like fucking me.
It's a fucking Lumina.
Okay, where were we? Man, we've been getting distracted a lot this episode.
It's good. It's good stuff.
Fucking me is like fucking the Kia Cube.
Oh hell yeah.
The good news is we have the murderer's DNA. The bad news is, quote, the profile was also submitted to the Federal Combined DNA Index System, CODIS, which compares DNA samples obtained at a crime scene to a national database of DNA profiles contributed by federal, state, and local participating forensic laboratories. But there was no positive match.
Damn.
And sadly, all they can really do now is wait and hope for a match one day. So it's a bummer. Time's running out.
Yeah, they're not gonna get a match.
Because chances are the killer is probably dead.
Yeah.
Because this happened back in 1962.
Yeah.
He would have probably been. I mean, who knows how old he was? Like he could have been in his fucking 50s then or something.
Yeah. Actually, we do have a couple more quotes from Farbacher. I forgot. He says, quote, is it possible this person has been arrested and never swabbed for DNA? Yes. Is it possible they're out there and have never been locked up before? Yes. Is it possible that the person who committed this crime is deceased? Yes, that's all possible. You could have a drug-related murder where the person who is a drug dealer is going to eliminate the competition. You could have a domestic homicide. You could have something out of revenge. We talk about a true victim, and that's what she was. She was a true victim. This woman did absolutely nothing, which I don't really like this end part of this quote, but he says, this woman did absolutely nothing to put herself... Oh my God, okay. I read it as she did absolutely nothing but put herself. That's what I was reading as that.
Oh, shit, yeah.
The actual quote is, this woman did absolutely nothing to put herself in a position to become a homicide victim, and sadly, she became that. So yeah, she sounded like such a good person. She didn't fucking do anything wrong, and just because there's a horny guy with a gun, she had to die.
Fucking sick fuck.
Yeah.
This case, there are nearly 800 unsolved homicide cases in Columbus dating back to 1955. This is a quote. And it is the second oldest case on that list. So this is the second oldest unsolved homicide case in Columbus since 1955.
Oh, wow.
Yeah, that's and that is everything we have on the case. The unsolved mysterious murder of Peggy Andrews.
I say it's actually older than lamer than all of our jokes. Well, yeah, lamer. That's kind of stupid.
There's like an after credits scene to this story, though, where Detective Farbacher got so sick of people like not being able to say his name because of how long it was, and he also decided to change careers and continue his lifelong dream of starting a popcorn company
with his buddy Rick.
So he changed his name
So it's gonna be Farpopper
to Orville Redenbacher.
Wow, dude, my joke, I completely fucked it up. I was thinking of the bass guitar Rickenbacker. So I was thinking, I got the popcorn name mixed with that.
Oh, fuck yeah. I still like it. Also, they got all the people from this story together and made a team, and they called that lineup the G string.
Oh, yeah.
Oh, yeah, that's a good one,
There's
dude.
so many G's, man.
Yeah, dude. All right, any comments or questions or any thoughts you want to mention about this case before we get on to our thank yous and Patreon shout outs?
I mean, part of me thinks it somehow was the guy that dropped her off. Like,
Ron?
I don't know why, because he got off, but like I don't know, they probably didn't take his like DNA or anything. But I mean, he was the last one to see her alive.
Yeah, I'm with Timmy on that one.
Yeah,
Like,
but he didn't match the because there was a witness.
That's
remember?
true. Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, if they were the same,
he
we
was
don't
a
know for sure they
a
were actually the
shitness.
same.
That's shitness.
Right.
But I
It
don't
was
know, like,
Schindler's List.
I mean, because besides that, we have nothing else to go off of besides it just being a random guy. Out of
Also-
anybody that was in the story that we know of, I think like he has to be like at least the main suspect out of those people.
So, alrighty. Well, before we all do our little closing shit, I do have a couple thank yous. As always, we want to thank our other brother, Brooklyn John. Brooklyn. Always an honor to give him a shout out. He does a lot for the show, and we appreciate him. Also, I feel like I take advantage of these guys listening to our show, and I don't mention them enough, but the Last Bandoleros, the fucking Bash Brothers in there, man, they're super badass. They're super nice. I don't know why they listen to this show, but it means the absolute world to us, and they jam together for our outro music, and it's super fucking awesome and badass. So, yeah, we really appreciate it, guys. That's super cool, yeah. Hopefully they play in Ohio soon. We can go see them.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, that'd be badass.
And then we have 2 Patreon shout-outs. Our first one is Sean Barletta, which I hope I'm pronouncing that right. But Sean is fucking awesome. He's on Snapchat. He always sends us funny shit. And he always sends snaps of like him listening to the podcast. And he's just a super cool dude. So hell yeah, thank you for signing up. And we'll probably invite him to the Snapchat group, whether he wants to be in it or not. Because, I don't know, we need friends. We have no one.
That is true. We need them. We need as many as we can get. It's like peanut butter cookies. We just want as many as we can get.
All of them.
I mean, I don't, but yeah, you guys can have them.
Yeah, all of them. You drive past a cemetery, how many people are dead in that cemetery? All of them, too.
Yeah. How many people can you fucking use their clothes to come in that cemetery? All of them. They're all wearing clothes.
All of them. All of them. They don't need that tie. What are they going to do with it? I want all of them.
Well, I guess Jeffrey Epstein needed his.
Hell yeah.
Let's think of a good Jeffrey Epstein joke to follow up with that one.
If you called little kids birds, I guess you could say the story of Jeffrey Epstein in that cell was to kill a cockenbird.
Okay, I like that. That works.
I like it. That's good.
And then they also, I guess Jared Fogle was also killed in the cell nearby, and so they changed it to kill a cock and turd. And now for our final Patreon shout out, we have John Meredith, and John is super fucking cool as well. He always sends us funny shit on Twitter, and he listened to like all of our episodes real fast. Like a week ago, I think he said like, "Oh, I'm caught up," except for like a couple months ago, and then soon he just was fucking done. So hell yeah. He also sends us shit on Twitter all the time, and he got a stand-up comedian, which I don't know who she is, to be honest, but I told him I would check her out. He sent a message saying, like, the boys at Commonplace need a real boost for their podcast. Show them the love I show you weekly, and he sent it to her. And then he also tagged Zach Ward, which we fucking love.
Fuck yeah.
But yeah, but the comedians, the female comedian, her name is Judy Gold. I've never checked her out, but I'm gonna check out some of her stuff. She retweeted it, so that was cool.
Yeah,
thanks.
That's awesome.
Yeah.
God, please
Fuck
let
yeah,
Zach
dude.
Ward show up. # Return of the King.
Dude, he's fucking awesome, dude. He follows us and we follow him, but I don't know if it's just one of those things where they just follow millions of people or not. I mean, he does, but, you know, he's awesome. I love Zach Ward. Fucking Titus. Dude, going to see Freddy vs. Jason like 5 times only because he was in it.
Oh, that's exactly what it is.
Specifically.
Yeah, he was Dave on Titus.
That's because everybody forgot.
Oh, yeah, you didn't forget about me, did you? Oh, that's right. Everybody forgot. He does the fucking hands thing.
Yeah, shit's so
Oh.
funny.
Dude, people just staring at us because we're all laughing in the movie theater as loud as we
Yeah, there he
can.
is. I'll never forget. They first show the Polaroid. The brothers looking at the Polaroid, and you see Dave in it. We're like, oh my fucking God, that's Dave.
It's
It's
like
like
we-
anything.
It's like we do the end of the Bill Nye song, but we do it Dave instead. Dave, 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 Dave.
All righty. Do it to it, brother.
Thank you for listening. This has been another episode of the Brothers Commonplace. If you'd like to support us, you can check us out on social media. Check out our Snapchat group. You can message Kevin. What's your username on there again, Kevin?
My Snapchat is kgreen6337. And if you're friends with us already on there, just send me a message. I'll add you to the group. And if you want to join the group and you're not friends with us yet, just add kgreen6337 and I will add you to the group.
Hell yeah. So join us there for some fun jokes and discussion throughout the week.
Yes.
There's still a shell of a Facebook running, and there's a Twitter and an Instagram. You can email us, brotherscommonplace@gmail.com. Leave us a review and a rating wherever you check out the podcast. We're still trying to get into the top charts on Apple Podcasts, so if you can do it there, we appreciate it. And we're still trying to get to 10,000 YouTube subscribers, so go subscribe to our YouTube channel.
Yes.
And the cherry on top is our Patreon, where you can sign up for $1 a month or $5 a month. And do both levels get the bonus episodes?
Yeah, so whether you donate $1 a month or $5 a month, or, well, I don't want to say names. We have like a couple people that donate way more than 1 or 5, which no one has to do. That's so unnecessary. We don't deserve it, but we super appreciate it. So if you do
totally
$1
cool
a
too.
month, I'm going to mail you out some stickers, and you're going to get all of our bonus stuff, which we have slacked on the last couple of weeks. Like we try to put 2 to 4 bonus episodes out a month. I am editing one currently, so hopefully when you hear this, it'll already be up.
So
But
basically,
yeah, you'll get it.
If you give us more than $5 a month, we become like your personal harem of concubines.
Oh my god,
yeah.
yes.
We actually let you pick anyone, and we'll kill them as well.
So everybody
So-
just picks Andrew, so we just
Eh.
revive him and kill him again.
Well, we let them pick anyone, but my father, God, or my boss.
Yeah, or Epstein. Yeah, that was an
wasn't
accident.
us. Yeah, that wasn't us.
But yeah, so the $1 a month, we'll send you stickers and you get all of our bonus episodes. $5 a month is the exact same thing, except you also get a shout out at the end of the episode. So if you just want to give $1, I completely understand. The $5 just helps us out a little bit more and you get a shout out. But we're just happy anyone even listens and signs up for this stuff. So it's just, yeah, we're super thankful.
If
So
you
thank
can't
you
do
so
the
much.
$5, you could do the $1 yourself and then go blackmail like 10 people and get them to do the
Yes.
$1.
Yeah.
And that's
Yes.
the equivalent of like $11.
Yeah, I mean, just do that.
Yeah, and special thanks to everyone that has left us a review, subscribed, and shared the podcast with your friends. And like Spence mentioned, we are trying to be on the charts, so it gets us noticed. We get some more listeners. So if you haven't listened, or if you haven't subscribed, or left us a review, if you could do that, that would really help us out. It's super annoying to do, I understand, and I don't know. It's a dumb system. I don't understand the iTunes system at all, honestly, or how any of that shit works. But hopefully, we move up in the charts. That'd be cool. And thank you to everyone that signed up for our Patreon. It is just patreon.com/thebrotherscommonplace, I think. I think that's it for me. Let us know your ideas for the whole Sober October thing. I mean, we'll need a different name. I don't want to 100% rip off the Joe Rogan podcast, which, I mean, that's not just them. But they definitely have made it famous, more popular. But they do like a competition with each other, which I don't want it to be a competition. I just want it to be like a month where we do something to better ourselves and then get our fucking listeners, if they want to go along with us and do it. And that'd be awesome too. I mean, I have no idea what we're going to do yet. We'll have to decide, but we got a month.
We could do a month of cold showers.
I just started working out again because I'm trying to lose some weight, get back in shape. And yeah, I end each workout when I come home and take an ice cold Viking shower. It's the shit.
Well, you do know the easiest way to losing weight, right?
I've been eating clean, counting my calories, and working out. Doing
God.
pretty good.
You fool. The easiest way to lose weight is to buy a fast pass. Because you lose that weight.
At Cedar Point, you don't have to wait in line. Jesus Christ. Okay. Fuck yeah, Toof. I love that.
Dude, that would be a funny picture for their fast pass. If it showed like a fat guy and it said lose the weight.
Oh, I did have something to mention. we try to do not really lesser known, but I try to stay away from the really big popular cases only because they've been done so much and I can't really add anything to it. Like, it's not like I have new information or anything. You're just going to get the same information just with jokes from us. So we have gotten a lot of requests for some bigger ones, though. So I think maybe every 10, 20 or so episodes, I don't know, for like milestone episodes, maybe we'll do like a bigger case because we have had Catherine Knight requested a lot, as well as Ed Gein. Like, those two have been requested probably the most. So whatever our next milestone episodes are, we'll probably maybe do those.
Let's do Catherine Knight since I have no idea what the fuck that even is.
Oh, dude. She is, she's fucking,
She's a babe and I nutted on her.
Oh my god.
She is not a babe.
Yeah.
She is fucking, yeah, I don't want to talk about it.
Yeah,
It's
she could
fucking,
work out.
it's crazy, dude.
Wait, is she that fucking movie monster?
Nope.
Oh, okay.
That's Eileen Warnos.
But we
Fuck
could
yeah, what a babe.
we could do. You're talking about milestones. We can do it maybe the night that I lose my virginity when that eventually happens. So we can do
Fuck
it
yeah,
then.
dude.
I mean,
Episode
if Tube wants
100.
Yeah,
Dude,
get
I
over
was-
here and do it.
The night we all lost our Andrew virginity.
Oh fuck yeah, we did.
Toof, my boy, my good friend, do you have any words of wisdom to give to these wonderful listeners?
You know, maybe got one.
That sounded like Andrew. Like, maybe I got.
So, did I do the WWE one yet?
I don't know.
All right, cool. This is the stupidest one then. So a while back, me and Andrew joined the WWE World Wrestling Entertainment.
Nice.
Wrestling, boys. And we're looking for success, you know. We don't want to just go there to be fucking losers. So we decided to form like a pack, a group, or in wrestling lingo, a stable, as you could say, because, you know, strength in numbers.
Yeah.
Well, we need to come up with gimmicks for our characters. So my name is Times, and my gimmick is I try and freeze time, and that's when I attack. Doesn't really work that well. Andrew, his name is new because he's always comes up with these
my-
crazy new things you've never seen before.
You
Shut
know
the
where
fuck
it's
up,
going.
Kevin.
I already knew. As soon as you said times, I
Times,
knew
yeah.
this was going to be the punchline. Keep
Well,
going.
ever since the Shield broke up and they've been looking for new partners, so we formed a group with Roman Reigns where we go into the crowd with wrestling signs and we help correct their font and punctuations, and our group's called New Times Roman. Immediately with times.
Fucking just do.
Mm.
Hell yeah.
That's it.
And then Andrew, he just comes out and he says, "I'm the guy."
Andrew
fuck yeah.
comes out and he does the splits, and everyone sees his pink sock everywhere.
Pink sock.
All
I don't
right.
remember what his. What's he say? I'm not a bad guy, or
I'm not a
the
good
bad guy.
I'm not a good guy. I'm not a bad guy. I'm the guy.
Yeah, dude. That's what Andrew says.
Yeah. And then he calls everybody tater tot.
He has a trapper keeper and he opens it up and it's just fan fiction of Schindler's List. That's not funny. No one listens
Yeah.
this far.
Yeah, they do.
Dude, Andrew, dude, I
Fucking
love the
better.
Trapper Keeper thing. Andrew unzips the front pouch of his Trapper Keeper, and he takes a book out and he takes a poop on it, and he calls it Schindler's List.
Usually, like if he was outside and he like had to go pee behind a tree, like, hey, I'm gonna go take a Schindler's piss.
Dude, Andrew, he used to fucking just. He used to do this thing where he would go around to different places, like to different friends even, and he would just fucking rip them off.
Yeah.
Like he just knew exactly how to get the better deal and how to rip them all off. And Swindler's List.
so fucking funny.
So when
Holy
Andrew
shit.
was he was working at this bike shop, and he had this new bike just came out. He had to figure out, like, man, we got a lot of families ordering this bike. Hey, what happened to that paper I had all the list on? You know, Schwindler's List.
Fuck yeah. There's time. Oh, holy shit, this isn't even funny. But there's that time that Andrew he was in that fire and stuff, and he made it out. He was okay and stuff. But the doctors, because this was back in the olden times, doctors didn't know all that much. They're like, hey, just write down every place you got burned, and it was the skin burns list. All right, I'm done. Bullshit.
That's good. That was a good ending, boys.
So,
thank you everyone for listening. Be good.
Stay safe.
and laugh at the dark stuff.
Hashtag boy pussy.
Oh, fuck yeah. Oh, changing it up.
Hashtag Wildman.
Hashtag wild woman.
Oh.
Ooh.
Oh. Hashtag T-Bro Nutsack.
Hashtag pretzel dogs.
Hashtag thank you, Mark.
Hashtag thank you, Mark. Wasn't his birthday recently?
Yeah, dude.
Yeah. Hashtag happy birthday, Mark.
Hashtag Australian Daniel. We love you, brother. Thank you for getting all your other friends and police buddies to listen to the podcast. And yeah, I'm excited, dude. That's cool. That's awesome.
That picture of him listening to episode 100 was the shit.
Yeah, that was fucking funny, dude. All on the computers. I hope they needed those computers for something. Like their surveillance camera, like surveillance fucking screens and all these crimes. All these fucking crimes going off.
Like for that moment, all of Australia was exposed to like nuclear attack or something because they weren't watching those.
But he just let that happen so we'd have more shit to cover in Australia later.
I guarantee he would do that. Like if we covered every fucking true crime case.